Hello, third grade, and welcome to our iLearn prep today. Make sure that you are on the correct page on RN 2.1 iLearn practice, and we'll go ahead and begin. Now, first we're going to read through the passage and then answer the questions on the side. I believe it's 1 through 3. Yep, that we'll be answering, and then there will be another passage that you'll answer. We will not finish the whole edge elastic, so you will not submit it. We are just doing part of it today. Let's go ahead and begin. Passage 1, Me First by Helen Lester. Pinkerton was pink, plump, and pushy. He would do anything to be first, even if it meant bouncing off bellies, stepping on snouts, or tying tails. Me first, he cried when he had been last in line and finished first down the slide. Me first, he cried at story time, settling on his round bottom with his big head right smack in front of the book. And every day in the school, through a Taria, me first rang out, and there was Pinkerton. One day, Pinkerton's Pig Scout troop went on a day trip to the beach. Pinkerton was first on the bus and sat in the front row. He was first off the bus, first in the water, first out of the water, and first into the picnic basket. After lunch, the Pig Scouts decided to go for a hike. Off they went, with Pinkerton leading in line, of course. As the Pig Scouts marched across the sand, they heard a faint voice far in the distance. The voice called out, "Who would care for a sandwich?" Pinkerton pricked up his pointy ears. Care for a sandwich? Oh, yes, me first, he thought. And he began to trot ahead of the others. Soon he heard the voice again, closer and louder this time. "Who would care for a sandwich?" "Me first!" cried Pinkerton, kicking up sand and leaving the other Pig Scouts far behind. His imagination almost burst. Peanut butter, jelly, 2 tomatoes, 7 pickles, and a slab of cheese, a blob of mayo, a smear of mustard, all for me first. Who would care for a sandwich? Now a full gallop, Pinkerton shrieked. Me first! Over the sandy hill he flew, and ker-plop! He landed face to face with a small creature with a bump on her nose and fur on her toes. "Am I glad to see you," she cackled. "I sure could hear you coming. Me first, me first, me first. I guess you really would care for a sandwich." "Oh, yes, indeed," replied Pinkerton. He jumped up and down so fast his teeth jiggled. "Good!" cracked the small creature. Pinkerton waited. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. "Well?" he asked. "Well, what?" replied the small creature. "The sandwich!" begged Pinkerton. "Where's the sandwich?" The small creature curtsied. "You're looking at her," she went on. "I am a sandwich. I live in the sand, and you said that you would care for a sandwich, so I'm here. Care for me." Sandwich. All Pinkerton would say was, "But I," taking no notice, the sandwich continued, "You said me first. You wanted to be the first to care for me. Well, congratulations. Now just come along to my sandcastle." Grabbing Pinkerton firmly by the sleeve, she led him around a few bends. Before he could say, "But I," again, the gate to her castle closed. "All right, my pink, plump, pushy one. Now you care for me." You may have the honor of being the first to powder my nose and comb my toes. Seeing no way out, Pinkerton powdered her nose and combed her toes. Next, she crowed. You may be the first to put my slippers in a bucket and feed me with a shovel. Pinkerton looked around. He had no choice but put her slippers in a bucket and feed her with a shovel. Rubbing her tummy with the sandwich spoke on. Finally, after you've had the privilege of being the first to wash my dishes and sweep my castle and do my laundry and curl my hair and tuck me in, you may be the first to tell me a bedtime story. Pinkerton washed the dishes, swept the castle, did the laundry, curled the sandwich's hair, and tucked her in. The sandwich stretched and yawned loudly. Now the story. I need my story. Pinkerton was so tired he could barely speak. I don't know any stories, he whimpered. Then how about making up something? Oh, how about something concerning a pushy pig who always wanted to be first? Pinkerton sighed and begged. Once upon a time there lived a pig who always wanted to be first, until one day he met a wise sandwich. Wise and beautiful, cut in the sandwich. A wise and beautiful sandwich who showed him that first was not always best. Aha! Cackled the sandwich. She gave Pinkerton a slow, serious, and meaningful wink. Have you learned something? Oh, yes, said Pinkerton. I promise I have. In that case, thanks for carrying me. Goodbye and good luck. She opened the gate, and Pinkerton sped off so fast he didn't even notice the delicious sandwich she held out to him. He was just in time to catch the bus. On he scooted, pink, plump, and glad to be last. So we're going to be practicing answering questions, and I want you to focus on the question words as we're going. Remember, question words are like who, what, when, where, why, is, does. All of those are question words. So when we have a question like what, we need to be able to identify something. So like what is the color of your shirt? You can identify that it is blue, green, something. So we need to identify and go back and find your evidence. What does the phrase his teeth jiggled in paragraph 14 show about Pinkerton? So think about it. When he was up here, I need to find my evidence so I remember what we were talking about. 14. Oh, yes, indeed. He jumped up and down so fast his teeth jiggled. So how do you think he was feeling there? Pain, tired, excited, or nervous? Well, he was jumping up and down, so he was feeling excited. Part B. Which detail from Me First shows another example of the answer to Part A? So why was he excited? Why were his teeth jiggling? He soon heard a voice again, closer and louder. That doesn't make it sound like he was excited. His imagination almost burst. Ooh, that might be close. I'll keep that one in mind, because I would be excited if I kept thinking. He landed face to face with a small creature. No, that doesn't describe that he was excited. Pinkerton waited 1 second, 2 seconds. Now the best answer is B. And click next. Now part B, I want you to answer on your own. Question 2, I want you to answer on your own. There's a part A and a part B. Make sure you're using the picture to help you. Why would an author add an illustration to help you? Pause the video now so you can answer these questions. And number 3. How do Pinkerton's actions lead him to be tricked by the witch? The Sand Witch. Does he think only about himself, so he keeps the scouts from meeting the Sand Witch? Pinkerton cares more about eating than helping his fellow scouts, so he keeps the sandwich a secret. Pinkerton wants to be better than the other scouts, so he volunteers to help the sandwich. Or Pinkerton wants to arrive before everyone, so he runs ahead of the scouts towards the sound of the sandwich's voice. Well, at the whole beginning, it says that he wants to be first. So that would mean he wants to arrive before everyone. Which detail from me first supports the answer to part A? So what describes that he wanted to be first? He wanted to arrive before everyone. Pinkerton was first on the bus and sat in the front row. As the pig scouts marched across the sand, they heard a faint, far noise. "Me first," cried Pinkerton, kicking up sand and leaving the other pig scouts behind. Ooh, that one's looking pretty good, because it has a lot of the parts. It says that he wants to arrive first, me first. He ran ahead of the scouts, leaving the scouts behind. "A slab of cheese, a blob of mayo, a smear of mustard, all for me first." I think C is our best evidence. This is all we are going to do for our iLearn prep. You do not have to submit. You can just leave it as it is and click exit and then go on to the next video for today.